Welcome to my Wuthering Waves Havoc Rover guide. This time I'll not only be going over Havoc Rover's solo combos, but also the best team composition, skill rotations, and even builds to maximize Havoc Rover's damage. I'll be referring to Rover as her for the rest of the video, because female Rover is simply better than male Rover. To start things simple, let's go over Havoc Rover's abilities. Rover's passive bar fills up with Umbra as you hit enemies with attacks. Miss, you don't get anything, you have to hit. Actually have to hit them. The skill gives her a massive amount of Umbra, about 40%, and it does not need to hit to give you the Umbra. The last source of Umbra is her intro attack, which provides about 20%. When Rover reaches maximum Umbra, use a heavy attack to enter the Dark Surge state. It starts using up your Umbra, and as it ticks down, you'll run out of the Dark Surge state. You can also use a skill to extend your Umbra by a little bit, so it takes a bit longer to run out. And this state is where the majority of Rover's damage will come from. This is further amplified by most of her resonance upgrades and passive tree upgrades, as you can see here. The first one is increasing her Havoc damage by 20% during Dark Surge. The last one is, it doesn't increase her damage directly, but it gives her extra ult charge. Her Resonance 2 here resets the cooldown of her skill when she enters Dark Surge. Resonance 3 gives her a bit of lifesteal when she's in Dark Surge. Her Resonance 5 gives her extra 50% damage when she uses a 5th basic attack during Dark Surge. And yeah, last one is just increased crit rate during Dark Surge. You can see that all of these amplify Dark Surge so much that becomes such an important part of doing damage on Rover. Now let's get into some basic combos. The first one is the heavy attack combo. Go heavy attack, then you attack twice. This generates about 25% Umbra. The next one is just a basic 5 basic attack combo. Just press attack 5 times in a row, and it generates about 30% Umbra. Look carefully at the Umbra bar as I slowly perform the basic combo again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should have noticed that the Umbra gain on the basic combo is backloaded onto the 4th and 5th hit, meaning in a real combat scenario, we will not be finishing the full combo often and be missing out on a lot of Umbra. Therefore, I prefer the heavy combo, as the combo actually starts you off right at the 4th basic attack, allowing a higher Umbra gain in a shorter window, making it better in practice overall. Therefore, getting to the Dark Surge state requires 1 skill usage, 2 heavy attack combos, and a few extra auto attacks. And when we're at 100%, this is where we get to pop off in Dark Surge. After heavy attacking to enter Dark Surge, Rover's basic combo and heavy combo are both in hand to deal greater damage. Her skill will extend the duration of Dark Surge slightly and also come off cooldown the moment Dark Surge is activated, thanks to her second Resonance upgrade. The easiest and most effective way to combo during Dark Surge is to simply spam the basic combo. However, since Rover's 5th basic attack, as you can see it's a backwards circle attack as you saw there, her 5th basic attack during Dark Surge has a long animation. Dodging or using a skill right after her 5th basic attack is vital for maximum DPS potential. Therefore, the most optimal Dark Surge basic combo should look something like this. Basic combo 1 into cancel with skill, then basic combo 2 into cancel with dodge, then basic combo 3 into cancel with ult if you have it available. If you did this combo fast enough, you may have enough time to fit in a final heavy attack before Dark Surge ends. Then immediately after your Dark Surge state ends, you want to Echo swap, using preferably Dreamless Echo into another character who can continue to do damage. You should be holding the movement key in the direction of the enemy when you are attacking while you're performing your combo, otherwise you will dodge cancel in the wrong direction. Havoc Rover is only at her maximum potential when she is only on field during her Dark Surge state, as her DPS is very low outside of it. This is where building a team around her to allow her to build up to her Umbra with minimal field time, and then providing huge damage buffs to her when her Dark Surge state is actually available, allows her to shine even more during her highest DPS window. Allow me to demonstrate.
Bask in the sunlight. Nowhere to hide. One with the sun. Judgment. Guide my blade. Upswing.
Now, allow me to explain. Firstly, you could see Havoc Rover was only on the field for a few seconds in total before reaching full Umbra and the last swap in. This mitigates her first weakness, which is Dark Surge downtime. Secondly, she received 2 massive damage buffs right before coming back onto the field to initiate her Dark Surge. The first one is from Verina, the outro skill, giving the whole team a 15% all damage deepen for 30 seconds, and the second one is the outro skill from Danjin, which gives the next character, which was Rover, another 23% Havoc damage deepen buff for 14 seconds, greatly enhancing her Dark Surge DPS window even more. This is where the power of rotations and team building around Havoc Rover comes from, mitigating her weaknesses and enhancing her strengths at the same time. Now, time to go through the whole rotation step by step to make it easier to understand. There are some important things you have to know before trying to understand the full rotation. You probably already know that Verina gains 1 passive after a 5th basic attack, as you can see down here, but this takes too long. However, when she is swapped in without intro attacks, you can see I don't have the intro animation, I don't have any concerto. When she is swapped in without intro, she begins her attacks on the 4th basic attack. As you can see, I've got one so fast. This means you only have to attack 2 more times after being swapped in to gain 1 passive. We will be using this fact. The second is that you don't have to use heavy attacks to proc your passive, it takes too long. Instead, you just immediately jump and start mid-air attacking and those proc your passives extremely quickly. And the third thing you have to know is echo cancelling. Luckily, echo cancelling with Dreamless is extremely easy. You simply press Dreamless and immediately swap to another character, as you can see here. This lets us play with another character while you saw the full echo damage was still going on in the background. And the final thing you have to take note of is skill swapping. In this team, we can skill swap out of Danjin's Chaos Cleave animation, as you're about to see here. Chaos Cleave, and you can see how the damage is still going through while we swapped. However, we do lose out on the damage of the final slash, but this is fine since the team is trying to maximize Havoc Rover's DPS windows and not Danjin's. So now let's break down the whole team skill rotation slowly, step by step, to make it easy to understand. The moment you see the enemy start spawning in, you want to go ER, cancel the E animation. You still get the passive stack, as you can see here. Then right as Verina's ult animation is about to finish, you want to be spamming a Rover swap. And the moment Rover swaps in, you want to ult. Like that. And right after the ult animation finishes, you want to go skill into Echo swap. Into Danjin, who will do a 3-part combo after the swap. Like this. And right after the 3-part combo, you want to immediately ult on Danjin. And right after the ult animation is about to finish, you want to be spamming your Dreamless Echo swap again into Verina, like that. Who does auto attack 2 times, as we explained earlier, to get the second passive stack here. And the moment you see this come through, you want to Echo, which is the total, and jump and to consume the mid-air attacks with 2 attacks, like this. And you should have enough concerto energy for her outro skill. And you want to swap into Danjin. And do the intro attack, which is a 2-part, which is just skill twice after the intro. And you can see here we have the buff effect for Verina, which lasts 30 seconds, the 15% all damage deepen. And the moment you do the intro skill, 2-part combo, you should have 50% bar, and you immediately want to do the Chaos Cleave. And you want to do the skill swap during the Chaos Cleave into Havoc Rover. Like that. And you should also notice this purple glow now on our body. This is from the Danjin Havoc, 23% Havoc damage deepen for 14 seconds. And right after you spawn in with Rover, after she gets the intro skill from Danjin, so she should be in mid-air. So you want to go press once to the mid-air attack to go down quickly. And the moment you hit the ground, you want to E and start popping off with your Dark Surge state, the combos that we did earlier. Hope that made it easier to understand.
Bask in the sunlight.
Nowhere to hide. One with the sound. Judgment.
Guide my blade. Upswing.
And now let's finally get to the Echo and weapon builds. So for the set options for Havoc Rover, always the best is the 5 set Havoc set with the Dreamless as the main Echo. Then alternatives, so you can see here it means better than. So 5 Havoc is better than slightly. The 2 Havoc and 2 attack set using the Dreamless as the main Echo again, which is slightly better than the 5 attack set using the Mech Abomination as the main Echo, since we cannot use Dreamless in a 5 attack set. Now for the main stats, for the 4 costs, you always want crit rate or crit damage on the 4 costs. For 3 costs, you want Havoc damage plus, and for 1 costs, you want attack percent. So if you don't have any good 3 cost echoes, as a note here, you can run 2 4 costs instead and 3 1 costs. So the most optimal would be 4 3 3 1 1, but as we know already, the double Havoc sets are really hard to get. So if you don't have any good ones, you can go crit rate and crit damage, or double crit rate on the 4 costs, doesn't really matter. Similar performance. For the substats, the best ones are the double crit substats, obviously. And then attack and attack percentage are the next best, and then basic damage increase. You can also go for a 20 to 30% energy regen on your subsets as well, but it's not really that important for Havoc Rover. Skill priority for Havoc Rover is her Forte, and then her Liberation, and then her skill, then normal attacks, and then her intro skill. So in terms of her weapons, the 5-star Standard Banner Emerald of Genesis is the best by far. It's going to be the baseline of 100%. So the 4-star weapons, the ones with attack, they're all pretty similar in terms of performance. They're just 77%, 78, 79, and 80%. So the best one is Commander of Conviction at 80, and then Lunar Cutter, which is 79. They're both from Gacha, so that's really nice. And then the 78% is the Lumen Gloss, which is from the Battle Pass. And finally the 77%, the one that you can craft, sword number 18. Now, Danjin. Her set options and main stats and like the stats she wants are really similar to Havoc Rover. So again, 5 Havoc set is the most damage for her, then 2 Havoc set and 2 attack set still with the Dreamless main Echo, over the 5 attack set with the Abomination Echo. So in terms of main stats, same thing. 4 costs you want crit rate, crit damage. 3 costs you want Havoc damage main. And on the 1 costs, you want attack percent on all of the 1 costs. Substat, same thing, double crit, attack percent, attack. Just the only difference is that heavy damage is better on Danjin over basic attacks on the Rover. Also, again, energy regen isn't that important on Danjin, so you can go 20 to 30% if you want, but it's not really that important. As for skill priorities, you want the Forte skill, and then her skill, and then her Resonance Liberation, and then her normal attacks, and then the intro. If you want Danjin on a more supportive role, she can also go for the 5 Moonlit Cloud set with the Impermanence Heron as the main Echo. This will lower Danjin's self damage, but it will buff up Havoc Rover's damage if you like that playstyle more. Finally, we get to Verina. So for her set options, the best would be the 5 healing set with the turtle as the main Echo. You can also go double healing and double Moonlit Clouds. The energy regen set is with the total main Echo. It's not as good because you don't get the damage buff from the healing set, which is really good for buffing up Rover. For the main stats, you want healing, bonus healing on the 4 costs or attack percent because her skill heals skill on attack. For the 3 costs, you want energy regen, preferably 2 energy regen because the more energy regen, the better, honestly. Or you can go attack percent because that does give her extra healing as well. And for the 1 costs, you just go attack percent for everything because again, everything she has scales off attack. And for her substats, you want to prioritize hitting at least 50% energy regen on her as a max first priority. And then you just go for a percentage attack and flat attack. But I like going more ER than more than 50%, like 80 to 100 even, because the more ER, the better it is. And as for skill priority, honestly, just the Forte and her Liberation, those are the 2 main ones. The other ones don't really matter. And as for Verina's weapons, this actually matters a lot because the best ones are the ones with energy regen on them. As you can see here, it makes it really easy to reach high energy regen. So Variation is the best in slot here for Verina. It also restores her 10 concerto energy every time she uses her resonance skill, which is also really good. Allows faster intro outro skills. If you don't have this one, then you can run the 3-star one, the Rectifier Voyage. Very easy to max rank 5, but this one doesn't give concerto energy, but it's still really good because it still has the energy regen stat on the thing. If you don't like running energy regen and you just want to heal more or do more damage overall, you can just go for the Jinza Keeper. It has the attack percent, which is what Verina scales off of, and the effect also increases her attack. So yeah, the best non-energy one, but I highly recommend going energy. And that is everything I have to say about Havoc Rover. I hope you learned something from this video. Since I wanted to include everything you guys suggested into this, it took way longer than expected. So this video better pop off so I know it was worth it. I would appreciate it if you could like the video, leave a comment, share it with your friends, and subscribe, and leave some feedback and suggestions like always. And I'll see you on the next one.